we can feel like we're thinking about spirituality all the time, so we must be spiritual. But spirituality has to do with surrendering the mind and coming into a sense of belonging, safety, knowing, trust, and freedom from all of our ideas and all of our imaginations about what we are. So, all of our spiritual ideas have to eventually drop away. And we get to be in this amazing wonder, awe, knowing, trust. So here's an exercise to rewire the brain from constantly thinking, spinning, no matter if it's worry or mundane thoughts or spiritual thoughts, or checking out how one's doing spiritually. Oh, is that my chakra? Oh, I have some shadow work to do there. Oh, I'll never get this, etc. So, feeling your body and the contact that it's making with the ground. You can be walking, sitting, standing, lying on anything. You always have contact with the ground. This is a more relevant and more spiritual knowing than anything the mind can come up with. The feeling of ground, the actual feeling of ground right now is a more spiritual reference point than anything the mind can come up with. And just feel how steady and reliable, trustworthy, the ground is. And you can take a few breaths and let all of your problems go into the ground, into the chair, into that contact point, if it's your feet or your bum. All however many pounds or kilos you weigh. All that weight, letting it sink, letting the pain in your shoulders or neck or head or guts or heart, give it to the ground. Just give it to the ground. And let that part of your body feel supported by the feeling of ground. This is such a simple practice, but it really welcomes the earth hum and the earth knowing of belonging and safety into the body, up the legs, up the belly, into the heart. And it supports a landing back on the planet. And what you might notice when you yield to the earth is fear, sadness, grief, all memories of what we had to suppress at some point because the moment was unbearable and we left our bodies, we left the ground to go up into our heads and manage and think and strategize about how we were going to get food, shelter, and love to survive in each moment. And so we were convinced over and over that it's better to leave our ground, love, familiar, belonged sense and go up to the mind to plan and to strategize and to think about where we're going and how we are and how we're going to get to where we want to be and who we want to be. And then it was to yield and to enjoy and to belong. And this directly opens into this sense of being that we are, being and belonging. This already, always here, okay, being and belonging. And the simple practice just to yield, to feel the ground, and to allow the grief, to allow the fear, to even stand up and shake if you're scared, to kick if you're pissed and you feel anger, to cry if you're sad, to let those movements happen through the nervous system. That's just how our nervous system releases those suppressed feelings from the past, where it was not safe to go into tears because we had to strategize or we had to move forward. That was what we were convinced of. And a lot of times it was likely true that the moment would have gotten worse had you fought back or had you cried or expressed the emotional states, the visceral fear that you were in. So if we've had a lot of programming and not being ourselves, this is quite practice. And we can catch ourselves in our spiritual imagination all the time, thinking about, oh, are we this, are we that, oh, we're not this, we're not that, or our worry about life, wherever your mind habitually goes. That's just your ego structure. One is no more spiritual than another, actually. The spirituality comes from this actual experiential sense of being, sense of landed okayness and love. So there's the exercise. We have a retreat coming up June 3rd and 4th. Anyway, take good care. Have a good day.